Like we talked about earlier in the cell membrane, there are receptor molecules. They are proteins with a very, very specific shape. The shape is designed to bind to a specific hormone, a chemical messenger, and they match, much like a lock and a key fit together. Hormones travel in your bloodstream, and they travel all over your body. However, hormones only need to react, or I should say, be in contact with certain cells. And so as the hormones travel through your bloodstream, they only stop at cells that have that exact receptor. The rest of the time they just slide right off. So reproductive hormones like estrogen and progesterone, they wouldn't stop at your liver, for example, because they don't have a function there. But they would stop at ovaries, they would stop at the uterus, because the ovaries and uterus would have a very specific shaped receptor molecule to receive that signal. So hormones are proteins, chemical messengers. The receptor molecules are also proteins, and they fit together perfectly, much like a lock and key, like the way enzymes fit to their substrates. Hi, Everett.
Hi.
What's your question?
I want to know the difference between meiosis and mitosis.
Sure, I can help you with that. Okay, let's do meiosis first. Okay. First of all, meiosis has the letter E in it, and so I want you to remember E for egg. Meiosis is the formation of sex cells. And so what happens is you start with a body cell. Let's say we'll do meiosis for men. So we start with a body cell in the testes of a human male that contains 46 chromosomes. Then what happens is a double cell division, and they kind of call it a reduction division, because what happens in the end is you get 4 cells, and these 4 cells are gametes, or sperm, and they each only contain 23 chromosomes. And so for men, meiosis, the formation of their sex cells, results in 4 sperm per body cell. It begins around age 16 at puberty. Now for females, for girls, their meiosis is the formation of eggs. Okay, it's still called meiosis, but the difference is in females, we actually only get 1 big egg that's made. It's actually the largest cell in the human body. And the other 3 are actually called polar bodies. They don't have much cytoplasm, so they're no good. And a woman's body just kind of gets rid of them because they gave all their cytoplasm to this one giant egg. Now that's meiosis, the formation of sex cells. It's important that both sex cells contain 23 chromosomes, because then during fertilization, you're restored back to that normal number of 46. Mitosis, now it has kind of the word toes in it. So mitosis is making more of your body cells. It's what makes you grow bigger. So you start with 1 body cell anywhere. It divides, and now you have 2. And during that division, the chromosomes, the DNA, actually copy themselves so that your 2 new cells also have 46 chromosomes. So mitosis, mitose, occurs in body cells, and it's used to make you grow or to repair an injury. Meiosis is the formation of sex cells. It only occurs 2 places in the human body. Men, in the testes. For women, in their ovaries. And for women, egg formation, meiosis, actually has occurred before they were even born. Girls are born with all the eggs they're ever going to have. Boys, meiosis doesn't start till puberty. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Hi, Anthony.
Hi. I was wondering what's the difference between yellow marrow and red marrow?
Oh, yellow marrow and red marrow. Well, that's not something you need to worry about, actually, for the Regents exam. But for the most part, it's function. Red bone marrow, you heard of people needing bone marrow transplants? Red marrow produces and contains a lot of your stem cells. Stem cells are cells that are not differentiated yet. Those cells haven't decided if they're going to be a muscle cell or a heart cell or a nerve cell yet. And so bone marrow, the center of our bones, the red marrow, is what produces most of our stem cells. And the yellow marrow is, it's more of like a backup to our red marrow. But you don't need that for your Regents exam.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. Let's take a look at photosynthesis. This is a real hot topic on the Regents exam every year, and it's a formula you absolutely should memorize. Okay? With plants undergoing photosynthesis, it occurs in a cell organelle called the chloroplasts. They're green. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air, and what's good about that is right now global warming is a problem, and global warming is occurring because there's too much carbon dioxide in the air. So by plants absorbing the carbon dioxide and using it for photosynthesis, that's helping us too. Once they've absorbed carbon dioxide from the air and light from the sun, and of course plants need water, they undergo a chemical reaction that generates the carbohydrate sugar, and they store it in their roots and their stems and their leaves, and oxygen. Lucky for us, they generate oxygen. As a matter of fact, all the oxygen on the planet that we breathe has been generated by plants during photosynthesis, the majority of which is by algae that are in the ocean. And then herbivores, plant-eating animals, they get their energy to live from plants, from the sugar that was produced during photosynthesis. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, this is Sarah, and I had a question on glycolysis cycle and the Krebs cycle and what we need to know on that.
Again, for the New York State Regents exam that you're going to take on June 20th, you don't need to know the Krebs cycle or the glycolysis cycle. The Krebs cycle is a built-in, very, very complicated part of cellular respiration. If you can just remember that cellular respiration produces energy, ATP, that's part of the Krebs cycle, and it uses oxygen from the environment, glucose from your nutrients that you've taken in when you ate lunch. Respiration occurs. Again, it's kind of a combustion reaction, and it gives off water and carbon dioxide as wastes. And most importantly, related to the Krebs cycle, is the ATP given off as energy. So again, if you're taking the Regents exam on June 20th, don't spend time memorizing your Krebs cycle. You just need to know these basics. The mitochondria carry out respiration, make energy. Waste products are water and carbon dioxide. Okay? And what you need to do that is oxygen and glucose. That's all you need to worry about.
Thank you.
You're welcome.